Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to the 30 Days of Queerantine LGBT closing ceremony. My name is Meredith Wells, and I am the founder and writer of the Functioning Just Fine. Tonight, I want to take a moment to reflect on the unique Pride Month that this has been, and to take a moment to appreciate the amazing queer and trans artistry we witnessed during the Queerantine Virtual Fringe Festival. I'd also like to take this time to thank all of my artists who donated their time and their energy throughout this 30 Days of Queerantine celebration, to all of the fitness instructors who taught classes for our Wellness Wednesday series, to Tasha Hopley and Collins Hilton, who ran our box office for the Queerantine Virtual Fringe Festival all month, and for Christopher Stein, who helped compile our direct actions to present during our performances each week. None of this could have happened this month without any of those people. So thank you so much for donating your time, donating your artistry, and being a part of this celebration. Just a mere 6 weeks ago, the concept of 30 Days of Queerantine was just a figment of my imagination. And about 2 hours later, I sent out some emails to some friends so that I couldn't turn back and I had to do it. And when I first thought of this idea, I thought it might just be a few of my friends presenting a staged reading. I never could have anticipated the outpour of talent, submissions, and support for this project. And then, of course, we entered Pride Month amidst national protests for the Black Lives Matter movement. And we quickly made the decision to have all of our proceeds for the 30 Days of Queerantine celebration go towards Black Lives Matter and our Nina Simone grant for Black LGBT+ artists. Our first few performances, in lieu of charging for tickets, we directed our audiences to go donate to Black Lives Matter. And then we set up our Eventbrite and we were able to start collecting money for the grant. When I first created the grant, I had a goal in mind of $250, and we quickly met that goal. That goal quickly became $500, and I am so proud to say that today we have nearly doubled that. We have doubled that. We have raised over $1,000, and the Nina Simone grant for Black and LGBT+ artists will be $1,000, and the extra $500 that we raised will be split amongst the 5 organizations that we highlighted throughout our festival. So those organizations are the National Queer and Trans Therapists of Color Network, My Block, My City, My Hood, House of Gigi, the Oprah Project, and You Good Sis. So tonight, I want to take a moment to reflect, to celebrate, and so I invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy this piece by Mckenna, Glorioso.
Hi everyone. I've never been on a YouTube live stream before, so this is very exciting. Like Meredith was talking about, it's been kind of a wild year with the pandemic, and then I think in the United States we're also seeing, structural racism and institutional racism being highlighted because of this pandemic, and it's been awesome to see mutual aid groups pop up and people unlearning things they thought they knew about themselves and their white privilege. And anyway, it's definitely a year of transformation, and I have also been experiencing some of that myself as an artist. I'm a violinist and a teacher here. I'm used to seeing my colleagues in rehearsals most days, and I see my students 5 days a week, and perform for people regularly. So 3 months of being at home has been really strange for me. So I started quarantine. I just want to take a moment to tell you about the piece and why I chose it, and then I'll play. So at the beginning of quarantine, I was bored and needed to practice, and so I went to J.S. Bach's 6 sonatas and partitas for solo violin, which were written in the early 18th century. They've come to be known as sort of a Bible for violin playing, and so I often return to them to work on technique and musicality and all sorts of things. A few weeks later, I went to Eugene Zai's 6 sonatas, which were written sort of in honor of Bach. And he was born in the 20th century. He was a Belgian violinist, and he wrote one for each of his friends. So that has also sort of become sort of a Bible in the past 100 years for violinists. And then a couple months ago, I found this piece by a young Black composer from New York named Jessie Montgomery. She's like 35, and she's been doing amazing work. She's a rock star of composing, and she's a violinist. And she wrote this Rhapsody No. 1 about 6 years ago, and then performed it herself for the premiere, and with the intention of writing one for each of her friends, again in honor of these old pieces. So it's I sort of view it as like a meditation and a reflection, but it's been incredible to work on as a piece, and I would encourage you all to check out Jessie's work. She's a really amazing composer. And check out the artist that's going to be highlighted tonight receiving the grant. Yeah, and I hope that you can take this piece as a few minutes to sort of reflect and yeah, just sit back and listen. I will have an awkward station in the middle, so don't be alarmed. So this is Rhapsody No. 1. It was written in 2014 by Jessie Montgomery. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much, Mckenna, for that lovely, lovely piece. Next up, I want to speak to you a little bit about the Nina Simone Grant for Black LGBT+ artists. Black and bisexual singer, songwriter, musician, arranger, and civil rights activist Nina Simone once said, "How can you be an artist and not reflect the times?" That to me is the definition of an artist. The following nominees personify to me what it means to be a contemporary artist. They're multidisciplinary, politically conscious. These artists brought pieces of their own unique stories to our festival through the mediums of drag, theater, film, and poetry, and made lasting impressions on our audiences. The nominees for the Nina Simone Grant for Black LGBT+ artists are Kimmy Katarja, Jordan Reed, and Jalen Simmons. And the winner of the Nina Simone Grant for Black LGBT+ artists is Jordan Reed. Congratulations. I'm now going to pass it off to Brennan, who is going to give us our closing remarks.
Oh my God, hi, thank you, Meredith, thank you so much. As Meredith said, my name is Brennan Srisirikul. I don't think Meredith said my last name, but my last name is Srisirikul, and I'm coming to you from my studio apartment here in Boston, Massachusetts. Before I begin talking, I think it's only fair that I give you a little background on myself. I'm 28 years old. I'm gay. I am a singer, actor, motivational speaker, kids author, and personal trainer. Out of everything I do, I would say motivational speaking is at the top of the list when it comes to my favorite things to do. But in this climate we are experiencing in our world today, I'm a little speechless, to be honest. Whenever I do motivational speeches, I always talk a lot about myself. And right now that seems so wrong. It seems so wrong to just talk about myself. So I want to talk about inclusion. Inclusion is about everyone. And we need to use our creative minds, right? This whole festival that Meredith curated, its nucleus is art. It is centered around art. We need to use our creative minds to figure out a way to leverage people so that we create equity out of inclusion. The equity is the result of inclusion. Like I said, inclusion is about everyone. We can't pick and choose who we want to include. That would be defying the principles of inclusion. That would be being exclusive, which is the opposite of inclusive. It just doesn't work that way. And I myself have been, guilty of sort of being semi-exclusive at points in my life. I remember when I first met Meredith, I wouldn't say I was proud to be disabled or even proud to be gay. I was kind of neutral when it came to my sexuality. And in regards to being disabled, frankly, I was dealing with residual shame from my childhood, so I was neutral. I wasn't exactly proud. And through that exploration of finding that pride, I've really, really learned that inclusion is about everyone. And inclusion is simple. Those asking to be included aren't asking for very much. They're just kind of asking to be treated like a human being. I'm just reading the comments that Meredith put. Anyway, yeah, use your voice for good. Actually, I said I wasn't going to talk about myself, but I'm going to talk about myself for 1 second. If being disabled has taught me anything, it's really taught me that my voice matters, because sometimes that's all I have, right? So in these treacherous times we're experiencing now, where we feel uncertain and frustrated in our advocacy, we really need to use our voices for good and stand up for our brothers and sisters of our Black brothers and sisters and our brothers and sisters of color and our trans brothers and sisters and everyone. Because I don't know about you, but I need an awful lot of help in my life, and I know that that isn't just because I'm disabled. I know that everyone needs help. So we are truly all in this together. I know it sounds cliche to be like, we're all in this together, but we are. I had a college professor once tell me, who are we if we don't have each other? That always really stuck with me. Who am I without the people around me? And I know, speaking for myself, I have a pretty kick-ass tribe surrounding me and lifting me up. So in closing, I just want to say, take care of your people. Check in on your friends. Call them. Ask them, how are you? How are you in your heart? How are you? Good night.
Thank you so much, Brennan. I couldn't agree with you more. We are all in this together. I know for myself personally, I've just been in awe of the LGBT community this month. I've been in awe of our resilience. I've been in awe of the grace that the LGBT community has had in taking the 1 month out of the year where we're relevant to the rest of the world and putting it on the back burner for our Black and brown brothers and sisters. I think Marsha P. Johnson put it best when she said there is no pride for some of us until there can be liberation for all of us. So I encourage you to keep it queer every day of the year by committing to furthering that liberation. Have a great night. We'll see you next year. Bye.